Hello, how are you? Good morning. My name is Andrés Díaz. It's a pleasure to join you today. I'm very pleased to show you what we do in Alibaba Group. I am the office manager of Alibaba.com for Latin America. As I said, I'm very happy to be here with you in Chileprunes to discuss about the opportunities that your products have in the global export market through a platform, a digital platform that is Alibaba.com. Before starting, well, let me tell you where I come from. My name is Andrés Bedoya. I'm Mexican, but I left Mexico for China in 2010. I lived there for 9 years. I came back a couple of years ago for the Latin American region, and my goal is to offer the opportunities of the platform to Latin American entrepreneurs whom today have a great potential to lead the global export market. So, some context of what we do in Alibaba Group. I'm sure that at some point you have heard about the platform. You have probably used it in some time to do some searching, or maybe even you have already completed transactions. Maybe some of you use the platform to sell your products. But today I want to give you some context about what Alibaba Group is and understand where opportunities lie so we can enhance our exports. So today we want to give you some alternatives to sell your products to more buyers, new markets, new distribution channels that are faster, more efficient, and allow you to have better margins and be more agile too in the way how you manage and develop your supply business relationships with international clients. I told you that Alibaba Group is, well, we are the largest e-commerce company in the world. But this is in terms of transactions. And I'm very specific when I tell you this because I do not mean by market capitalization. In that case, there are other companies that are bigger than Alibaba Group. But in terms of the amount of money and products traded on the platforms, Alibaba Group is the world leader by far. Just to give you an example, the transactions made in the Alibaba Group last year was $1.24 billion, which is about, let us say, 3 times more than $468,000 million transacted by the second biggest platform in the world. So we trade 3 times more than the second biggest e-commerce platform in the world. But we do this by means of different digital platforms. That is to say, each type of business is done by means of a different platform. So if you ever wanted to buy a specific product from a Chinese company, and they probably use a platform named AliExpress. So if you want to export your products from Chile to the Chinese consumer market, that is the final Chinese consumers, probably you use a platform named the More Global. If you want to export your wholesale products to an international distributor, probably then you used Alibaba.com. So the group has over 7 different digital platforms. We have the world's largest business-to-business platform, the biggest business-to-consumer platform in the world, and the world's largest consumer-to-consumer platform. Apart from a fintech, the biggest logistic aggregation, the third largest cloud in the world. So this means we are an ecosystem of digital platforms working in all business models. But you have to be very specific regarding what is the platform we should use for the specific time we are in our company. Today we're talking about Alibaba.com. This is the oldest platform in the group. It was created in 1999. The platform at the beginning was aimed to support Chinese factories Chinese producers, entrepreneurs, to do business transactions with international buyers. But who gets into Alibaba.com? Because we're saying that it's a business platform, but it's not a platform that a final consumer uses looking for a mask or a wallet or a bag of dried plums. A company enters Alibaba.com as an importer, a marketer, distributor, a purchasing manager, and as a group of hotels and restaurants, and they are looking for wholesale suppliers. That is the type of Alibaba.com user, and that is what makes it so different from the other digital platforms that you know. In fact, I wouldn't want to call it a marketplace or a digital platform because Alibaba.com is essentially more than being a marketplace. It's a fair. We are the biggest international trade fair in the world, only it's digital and it's open 24/7, 24 hours of the day, with presence in more than 192 countries and regions, more than 26 million of companies working every day in the platform. So yes, we are a huge fair with a lot of access and with many opportunities. But now what is the problem? Latin American companies, Chilean companies, haven't found yet the exact way to take advantage of this platform. Not only to buy with this, but also it is a showcase so that the buyers worldwide get to know our products. I told you, Alibaba.com is located in more than 200 countries and regions around the world. We have more than 26 million companies who enter Alibaba every day to search for suppliers. Close to the end last year, we saw that every day 350,000 public orders about trading on the platform were uploaded and published. In other words, company looking for plums and waiting for the suppliers to contact me. And today, this week, more than 450,000 public orders have been uploaded in our website. But as I said, you can tell me, but maybe I don't understand very well. How can I publish my products on Alibaba.com? And what happens if someone clicks on me on the other side of the world and wants to buy 150 tons, but I have my distribution channel already engaged? Well, don't feel stressed. On Alibaba.com, as well as an affair, the person who makes the decision to see if you want to export to that country, if you can do it, and if you have the quantity and the production capacity for export to that buyer, and if the buyer is within your minimum purchase quantity, is you as a seller. You make the decision as a company. You decide with whom you to do business, and if you can't, you just tell. And if the company does not fall within your minimum purchase, you tell us. On Alibaba.com, the company is not grounded for not having the product, but it is grounded for not answering. So we're going to support you in the integration process of your digital stand so that you have visibility, get closer to those buyers that are looking for something that you can and want to offer. The most important thing on Alibaba.com is that the platform will not be used for making transactions. The buyer does not pay Alibaba. The buyer will pay you directly. You're going to invoice, export, you are going to fulfill the transaction. And really, what we do is to put the right buyers in front of your door so you can start to do business with them. That is our responsibility. Now, what happened? What happened during the last years? What has become of Chile, of Latin America, to be such an attractive area for international buyers? The most important thing is to understand that who buys from Alibaba.com, who are the companies entering Alibaba.com looking for suppliers. I mentioned that sometime. The platform started as a tool where the Chinese companies could approach international buyers, then you should know that historically the largest buyer of Alibaba.com is the United States. The United States is the largest buyer of the platform. It has been for years. In fact, I told you we have 26 million companies using Alibaba. Out of this 26 million, more than 3 million of them are American companies using Alibaba.com every day looking for suppliers. After United States is India, Canada, Brazil, Australia, UK. Mexico is also the 10th largest buyer. Peru is the 19th largest buyer. Among the European countries, we have the UK, Italy, France, Germany, Spain. All of them participate as buyers on Alibaba.com. This is important because many entrepreneurs still have the idea that we are a sort of platform to sell products to Chinese. Then if I get into the platform, I'm going to sell to Chinese, but if I'm not competitive, what can I do? But we have to understand that the golden opportunity right now on Alibaba.com is that the platform's buyers are located in Europe and the Americas. But historically, salespeople of Alibaba.com have been Asian countries. 80% are Chinese, and therefore the supply business offer is located in Asia, but demand supply is concentrated in America. So what happens? Regional buyers are right now trying to replace their supply business, take it out of Asia, and move it to America. That's what's happening right now for several reasons. For a couple of years, we have witnessed that, for instance, and you know that China for the last 20 years has created a middle class of more than 700 million people. And this middle class consumes, it looks for products. Therefore, many Chinese companies have decided to be focused on their domestic market with a good value, with a good purchasing power, and they are willing to pay for good products. That is why the factories are making efforts towards the domestic market in China, and they start losing share in the global export market. We could see that, but later, because of the trade war between China and the United States, created tariffs and non-tariff barriers, making that the biggest buyers in the world also start saying, maybe it's no longer good to have these suppliers in Asia. And now, with COVID, everything has blown out. You know that very well. Lifelong entrepreneurs know that an American company that 2.5 years ago could get a container from Asia and the cost would be maybe $1,700 or $1,900. That is 1 year, and because of the pandemic outbreak, the freight costs peaked to $17,000 or $18,000. So imagine from $1,700 and now you pay $17,000. That is a huge difference. That makes many of the exports from Central Asia, from China, infeasible. And at the same time, we see that freight prices are rising. The minimum purchase quantities Chinese suppliers are asking for are increasing. Also, the delivery times are getting much longer. You know that there is a waiting list for containers in Long Beach. You know that before a Chinese supplier could deliver products in 30 days, now we have to wait for 180 days. So this disruption of the global business supply chain, increased by the reduction of Chinese presence in the global market, increased by growth of tariff and non-tariff barriers of Chinese products, and also by the increase of freight prices, increase of delivery times, increase of the minimum purchase quantities, have made the biggest buyers of the region, such as the United States, Canada, Brazil, Australia, United Kingdom, Italy, France, Mexico, start to think over in terms of their vulnerability in the business supply chain. So they start looking for suppliers as close as possible. So it happens that this is an opportunity to create a block of supply business in Latin America that can reach the largest buyers in our region. And that is exactly what we're doing here. We're looking for entrepreneurs just like you to become visible enough as to allow you reaching buyers from all over the world. I told you about the opportunity created thanks to buyer countries. I told you that selling countries, mostly Asian, such as China, Pakistan, Vietnam, Malaysia, South Korea, Thailand. But let me give you an example of what may happen when a country or a region bets on electronic commerce, but based in this type of indicators telling us our viability and competitiveness we have in the global market. Nearly 5 years ago with Alibaba.com, we started working in Italy with the Italian trade agency, as well as now we do in Chile with ProChile. We introduced ourselves, we're Alibaba.com, and they told us, look, wait, we no longer want our companies to buy more from China. And we told them, we don't want to do that. We are here for you to sell. But they said, but what can I sell to China? It's not for you to sell. It's for you to sell to all those countries that are looking for supply business other than China. And they say, but I don't understand. Alibaba.com is for selling cheap stuff, for supplies, but my products have a high added value. And we say, that is exactly what we want. And well, Italy, 5 years ago, bought a lot, but didn't sell anything. And within 5 years, during the first year after the creation of the Italian pavilion, we had 1,300 Italian companies for specialized machinery, food, drink, beauty, personal care. And within 5 years, they became the ninth biggest exporter of this platform in the world. And why I'll tell you this, because Alibaba.com has about 70% of the overall e-commerce wholesale markets among the borders. So becoming the ninth largest seller is an amazing challenge. And that also happens with the United States. A couple of years ago, the pavilion of the United States was created, and we started with American sellers. The first year we had 1,500 American companies to start selling through the platform. And within 2 years, from being the biggest buyer, today USA is the largest buyer, but also it's the 11th biggest world exporter. So this is important because, as you can see, we have many countries who buy a lot on the platform, but they don't sell anything. They are not taking advantage to use this showcase and reach new markets. And then many times the question business people ask me is, what happens probably because of the type of products sold in Alibaba.com? Maybe that our prunes are not competitive in this global market. And now we can say that what sells the most on Alibaba.com? What we most sell around the world, those 26 million companies and 190,000 selling companies from 200 companies, they most sell food and drink. Food and drink is the most traded category on Alibaba.com, followed by agriculture, beauty, personal care, clothing, consumer electronics. In clothing, we have clothing, footwear, textiles, consumer electronics, vehicles, auto parts. So as you can see, we have also minerals, medicine, metals, home and garden. And out of these categories, of the most successful categories, many of them are the most competitive industries in our countries. So I call to all Chilean companies to seize this huge opportunity and take advantage of this worldwide market. Now, I'm going to show you how the biggest export fair looks like, because I told you the entrepreneurs tell me, Andrés, well, I understood the companies are trading and looking for wholesale supplies, but how do I publish my articles? It's very difficult for me to say how much it costs, how much my product costs. It depends on how you buy it, depends on how much you buy from me, if I have the permits and regulations to export, it depends on who will take care of the export, and also I'm asking what is the scope of my responsibility. I have to ship 3 containers of prunes for buyer in Vancouver. Should I leave them in the warehouse? It all depends. It all depends on whatever you decide on what you want to do. Remember that you can set up the standard at the biggest international trade fair in the world, introducing your products, and then every company in every situation decides what to do, to whom to sell. You decide the buyer, what buyer is within the range, what is interesting for you, and you can talk about what is going to be a good business relationship. Then, this is very important. You publish your products, you can publish them the way you want, and the publication of each article, we are going to have pictures, videos, the technical sheets of the product. We will have our production capacity. We will describe our minimum purchase quantity. We will describe, for instance, if we can customize the packaging. We can also, for instance, we can do OEM or ODM, that is creating brands to other companies worldwide. All that information will be in our store. It's not really a store, but it's our digital showcase. It's going to be our showcase. And then, in every situation, we will see if the buyer is interesting for us or not. Now, I will show you how on the platform products are published. Here we are, for instance. This is Alibaba.com. We are searching for dried prunes. And as you can see here, we have 204 suppliers worldwide who sell this product. We can see, for instance, some of them have closed 32 transactions with a value of $950,000 during the last 6 months. We have 9 transactions with $30,000, other transactions, 19 transactions with that are worth $68,000. We can see, for instance, each of them. Remember, these are all showcases from international companies that are displayed on Alibaba.com, waiting for international buyers to search for their store, click on it, and start trading. But here, some people start off here. For instance, this is a store from Uzbekistan. It's a company selling dried prunes. And the first thing we see is that this is only a reference price. It's a FOB price, FOB. That means delivered at the ports of departure. So if you agree, their responsibility is to leave the product at the ports of departure, and this is the ton cost between 1,200 to 1,500, and they say their minimum purchase quantity is 1 ton. Here we can see all the information of the company, the technical sheets, the packaging, and what we want is that the interested buyer send us a question, a message, or a quotation. Hello, Asisbek, I would like you to send me a quote for 20 tons of dried prunes. I am in such a port and I need the product to be left in such port. This is how we start the business relationships. These are messages that we will help you to filter, redirect them to your sales teams so that you can do business. Another thing that is interesting, let us say if I look at dried prunes and I could see this store from Uzbekistan and I ask for a quote. Asisbek will make the decision whether to answer or not, whether I am interested as a buyer, and then I can say, hey Alibaba, I want you to publish that I'm looking for dried prunes. I want everyone to know that because I want people to contact me, and then I no longer have to contact each of them and send in queries. But now I wait for the companies to send me their quotations proactively. that it's a platform, and that is the internal platform for vendors of RFQs or requests for quotation or public quotations. As I said, at this moment, today, we have 447,457 RFQs on the platform. Now, for instance, if we check some specific ones, I can see dried prunes, and I can see this Canadian buyer who needs £1,000. If we look at this, we can see that a couple of days ago, this Canadian buyer, Mo Effan, was looking for 1,000 pounds of dried prunes. So here I can contact this company and quote, "Hello Mo, how are you? It's a pleasure. We are a company from Chile and I would like to introduce ourselves." This is what we do. We're going to receive constantly messages. We're going to receive a lot of traffic, many messages from international buyers. They now stand at this fair that we show to the world, and at the same time, we will also be hunting these buyers worldwide that instead of searching you one by one, they uploaded what they are looking for. Our team will help you to set up, design, set up your store, upload your articles and photos, videos, technical sheets, production capacity, minimum purchase quantities, prices, because the price is not fixed. It's just a reference, and the final price will be given with a formal order. So all that information will be published, and then this will help you to filter buyers, messages, to contact potential new buyers. And the thing is that you will devote to do your business, and we will take care to find international buyers for you who are willing and they are looking for vendors like you. That is what a platform like Alibaba.com does. This is the most competitive time you have had for many years, aimed to lead the global export market. And for us, it's a great honor to be part of this growth and internationalization of your industry. We will be glad to help you and to present your best exportable offer so that you may have a lot of traffic, do many business export, open new markets, new channels, reach new customers that you never imagined. That is what's happening today on the internet. This is a platform that is very different from the rest of the platforms you may be used to. It's a platform where each transaction may mean leading the way of an internationalization process. So I will be glad to meet you face to face and to support you in this process of creating a digital showcase for the whole world to see your products, and in this way you can expand your company beyond your own borders. Thank you very much for your time, for your attention, and I will be pleased to be part of your process. Remember, I am Andrés Díaz Bedoya, Business Services Lead of Alibaba.com for Latin America. It's been a pleasure.